Griffin Snow. I'm 15, and something I'm excited about today, probably just kind of relax a little bit, and not do too much today. Maybe I'll read a little bit later.
Awesome. What is an accomplishment, personal project, or extracurricular activity that you're proud of working on?
So for extracurriculars, I've done like several school plays. I'm actually doing one right now. Um, so that's been fun, and I've for the last couple, I've gotten some pretty substantial roles, and it's been really fun, kind of like just getting those like bigger roles than maybe I would have gotten like when I was younger, and kind of getting the opportunity to explore that. And then beyond that, last year there was a thing at my school like a film, kind of like a club, but it was like after school, but it was like a special program, like a film program type thing. And I think they're bringing that back this year, and that was really fun. And also I last year I was part of a film club, and then when the seniors left, I took over. So now I'm running that club, and that's been cool. And then outside of school, I've just been working on my own projects, like I mentioned with the movies, and I've actually I've made like quite a few. I would say in middle school I made a trilogy of like a series. They're not very good, but you know I was it was still just like a great thing to be able to do. And so yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know all the projects you make as a kid. It's like, you look back on them and it's kind of you can kind of see just how, even though when you make them, it's like, um, I know sometimes I look at my work and I'm just like, oh, this was like, this wasn't very good, but like you kind of see how each project teaches you something that you take forward with it.
Yeah.
But it's always fun to look at. I mean, like you made a trilogy, like that sounds awesome. But like, I have a few friends who did similar things, and it's cool to like you have fun looking back on those projects and kind of see how they helped you in the future. So that's really cool. Um, what tips would you give to someone who's like trying to do similar projects to you, whether it's like your filmmaking or your work in theater? What like anybody who's kind of wanting to pursue these things?
Well, I would say the most important thing is don't necessarily wait. Don't wait around for the right opportunity. You don't wait for someone else to like give something to you. You just gotta go for it. Because if you want something, if you want something bad enough and you work hard for it, I think you can attain it. You just need to put in the work and then try for it and follow your passions and practice all the time. And I think you'll be able to do it. So yeah, I would just say seize kind of those opportunities.
Yeah, it's good advice. You just gotta, no one's gonna hand you anything. You're gonna have to just take those projects into your own hands. So that's really something a lot of people should hear.
Actually,
Um,
one more thing I wanted to say about that. So I also do improv, and when I was in middle school, my improv coach said something that kind of helped me. He said, like, don't wait till you're like, because I was younger. He said, don't wait till you're like an adult to kind of do the things you want. You just start now. And don't wait. So I just wanted to add that.
Definitely. No, that's great advice, and I think people um, starting now, now is the best time for everything, honestly. Um, what is a topic, subject, or skill that you think should be taught in schools?
Okay, so I mean, okay, this might be like a common answer, but I think it'd be really important to learn like financial skills in school because a lot of times people just have kind of have to figure that out for themselves when they get out, and it can be like kind of tricky, a tricky thing to navigate. And that's something that you have to do so often as like an adult. I think that it would be good to like at least start learning those skills a little bit younger. And then another thing, another class, I'm not exactly sure what to call it, but I think a lot of people are kind of told when they're younger that like what they want to do in their life isn't like a viable career like choice. So I think it'd be cool to have like a class that teaches you how to kind of pursue like what you want to do, and like show you that you really like you can do it if you just pursue it in the right way and go about that. I think that'd be another great class to have.
Definitely, and that's something I think a lot of kids need to be at least, you know, you're told things are not possible, things are very difficult. It's like at least like you said, giving kids the tools to at least, learn more about a certain field, and giving them the opportunity to at least pursue it is really important. So yeah, that's something I wish we could see more of. Um, and the next question is, tell me about somebody in your life who's left an impact on you and why.
Um, so I'd probably have to say my mom because like she's my only parent, and she's like I don't know she's done a good job. Uh, she's provided a lot of great opportunities for me. She's always believed in me and like my believed that I can do the things in life that I want to do. Always supported me and provided for me and worked really hard to get all the things that I have. So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah,
Awesome.
that's
Thank you
it.
for sharing that. Um, is there a cause or social issue that you're passionate about? And if so, why is it important to you?
Social. Ooh. Hmm.
You can take a minute to think about it.
Well, let's see. I think obviously there's like climate change and things like that that I think are important. Like that we try to help. Obviously, help stop climate change because it's gonna be my generation and like the generations after mine that are probably gonna have to deal with it like the most, and we're gonna have to probably do the most change for it. So I believe in trying to fight climate change, um, things like that. Also, like just kind of like environmental issues like that. I think are important, and I think like other social issues. This might be like kind of vague or whatever, but I think like corruption is bad. There's like a lot of sometimes like a lot of people, a lot of corporations or whatever. They don't actually care about as much about the people as they say they do. They really just want money. I think that's kind of a problem in society that we should probably that needs to be addressed more. And because yeah, that's just not right. Like I don't know. I don't know as much about that, but I know that that's a problem.
Definitely needs to be addressed. You're 100% right. Um, and what would you, is there like advice you would give to someone who like wants to make a positive impact on their community?
Yeah. Well, I would say because I think what happens is a lot of people don't really think that they can do much on their own. So I would say like just do what you can, and maybe like you'll inspire others to follow suit. So kind of, I think any one person actually can make a difference. Don't wait around for other people to do it for you. Just start being the change that you want to see.
Um, and I know you kind of mentioned earlier some of your, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper into your interest or extracurriculars, whether it's your in drama or in filmmaking, and just kind of like talking about like your future goals with that. I'd love to hear more about it.
Oh yeah, so I just kind of started making films when I was like in sixth grade, or it was around the height of the pandemic. So that's kind of when I started doing that, and I've been doing it since, and I have a lot of ideas, and for like for the future, like the not too distant future, my goal is to just kind of continue like bringing those ideas to life, continue making those things, and eventually I hope to get into like a career or something where I can work with that as like my profession, continue to bring my ideas to life. And like currently, I just finished filming a movie, and I'm gonna start working on editing it. And then I'm also working on a comic book right now, and so I have a couple scripts for that done and some drawings. And me and my friend are working on that together. So our goal is to have the first issue of that comic book done by March, and so those are just some things I'm working on right now. So
Awesome. Well, I love to see some of them. I know sometimes we include like work samples, if especially if the students are into art. So if you have anything you want like to be a part of the video, feel free to share it with us, because that sounds really cool. Um, so what do you think is something about you that normally gets left out of standard applications? Because I know a lot of, essays and applications that you write for college, a lot of them don't always have a chance to see every like all sides of you. Um, so if there's like something about you that you normally don't get to really talk about in um, like college or school applications, um, what kind of stuff would that be?
Well, yeah, so I'm not really the great about, standardized testing, like, or just taking tests in general. And so I think a lot of times people can just like look at that numbers, like those numbers, and like not actually, like they'll just see a number and like it's not going to be like the highest, and they'll think that that kind of measures like who I am as a student. But I think there's more to me than that. There's pieces of me that can't be measured by a test. Like the things I'm interested in, and like my like passions, and um, like my those people like they don't really know anything about me. They wouldn't know anything about me other than what they see on that test, which is already a struggle for me. So I guess I would say like it's something like that. Like, and if there's like a part of like an application where I can really express who I feel like I am as a person, that would really help as well.
Yeah, for sure. I know that's why we hope to do something like that with this interview and this scholarship to kind of give you guys a platform to share your story and just talk about who you are that we often don't normally get to see if it was like an essay or like grade transcript. So thank you. Kind of an outro question, and then I'll leave it open for anything else you want to add. But what would you say to a student who would be in your position today, starting their storyteller interview?
I would say okay. I'd say don't be afraid to show like your true self. Don't be afraid to like express what you're interested in. Um, like just I would say believe in yourself, and like even if others won't necessarily, just kind of like don't give up on yourself, and kind of just like try to express who you think you are as much as you can, and don't try to like kind of tone that down for anyone.
Definitely, definitely. No, is there anything that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you'd like to share? It can be like more stuff you're involved in or anything else you're passionate about. Anything that didn't really
Oh,
fit into any other questions.
yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I'm my selective at school. I'm in the creative writing selective, and I'm actually one of the captains. So been a good experience. And I'm right now I'm also learning how to play guitar. That's just kind of another thing I'm doing. So I guess those are some things I might have left out. Um,
Yeah, tell me about the creative writing.
oh yeah, so we meet like 4 times a week, or 3 times a week. Yeah, 3 times a week. And for the first part of the year, we work on like a collective script for the school called Murder Mystery. Basically, it's where we kind of get all the teachers and we put them in like a murder mystery kind of thing. And it's like an interactive experience. So they put on a play for the students in like December, like end of before winter break. So we just finished it. And before the end of the show, the students will have to like guess which teacher they think who's the murderer, that kind of thing. It's like a fun little play kind of thing. And then so that's the first part of the year, and then for the rest of the year, it's like we can work on our own scripts, and we kind of share those our ideas with each other, and like get peer review, peer feedback, and we also like look at other stories like that the teacher will bring in, and we'll kind of analyze those a little bit, and yeah, that's kind of what we do in that.
Hey Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this person's story, don't forget to subscribe below to hear more from our inspiring youth. If you want to apply for our Storyteller Scholarship or get more involved in our organization, click the link below to apply. Thanks for watching!